Here we are live.
Yes, we
How are
are.
you? Yeah, oh my God, good to see you, Joanna. I know that you have so busy week, but very fruitful and empowering week. For everybody watching us right now, don't worry, because for the one who can watch, then you will have the possibility to see the replay. My name is Pascal. I am French, living in Hong Kong for the last 17 years, and today I have a very special guest. See, this smile is beautiful already. I have Joanna with me all the way from Romania to Canada. She's living in Canada now. She's a wife, she's a mom of two beautiful daughters. She's a very successful online business entrepreneur and a business coach as well. So today, travel with me. The story is to get to know a little bit more coming from Europe, landing in Canada, and then after that to see what are you into right now and how you foresee your future. So I give you the mic, I give you the voice, and I'm so thrilled listening your story, Joanna. Here we go.
Thank you so much. Thank you for that introduction. I'm very happy and very grateful to be here with you today and just chit chat about my life. I
Oh yes,
enjoy
please.
to share my story, coming from Romania to Canada. And not a lot of people are like know my entire story, why I decided to come and all of that. So I'm just gonna share for the first
Please.
time with you here.
Yes.
So I was born and raised in Romania, in the middle of Romania, in Sibiu. So it's very close to Brasov, a place where everyone knows about Dracula. So it's no Transylvania. So I was actually born in Transylvania, and I was raised there. I had an incredible childhood. My parents, they raised me beautifully, and I'm very grateful for that. I have a sister. She's older than me with 4 years, and being in a communist country, it was interesting. So we were a communist country until I was 7 years old. So I still remember things like going to and buying food with cards, because we needed
I
a
see.
certain amount of bread that we are allowed to get, or a certain amount
Correct.
of
Yeah.
meal that we are allowed to have, or rice, or oil, things like right now. We feel like we are so entitled to go in a supermarket and have 20 millions marks of one oil, and not knowing which one to pick and choose. So that's like the hard parts that we have right now. On those times, we didn't have that luxury. So living in a country like that for a long period of time, most of my life, I learned to be grateful for a lot of things. So um, I finished a university back in Romania. I moved, like, I didn't do my university in Sibiu. I did in Timișoara, in a different city, a bigger city, where there were a lot of students. So I did a university degree in economics, and my master degree was in economics too, in management actually. And I realized after I finished all my school that I want adventures. So, we are talking right now
That's okay.
about
Yeah.
adventures. So I wanted an adventure. When I was in university, I actually went with a student visa for 3 months, like just for the period of summer period. I went in US and I worked in an amusement park. That was my first ever job when I was in year 3 of university. My first job was in an amusement park in USA, New Jersey.
It's like a
Okay,
dream, huh?
it's like a
It's like
dream,
leaving
American
Romania,
dream.
landed in US in amusement park. Oh my God.
Yes, so it was super cool. I had such an incredible time as a student, and I want to thank my parents for that, because it's hard for someone from Romania to actually go in US to get the visa, and
Correct.
to go in US and to have the money to afford to do all of this. So I was lucky because my parents were able to support me, and they said, I told them, when I'm going to come back, I will bring you all the money back that you spent it with me for my trip. Never happened, but that's a different story. So I landed in US. I was there for 3 months. I learned a lot about myself because I never had anyone to speak English with. So I learned English in school. English actually was my third language. For my second language was French, but don't ask me anything in French because I don't speak French anymore. So I learned English in school, but I never had anyone to practice my English with. So funny story. When I was working in an amusement park, I was in a store with ice cream. The store was named Dippin' Dots. I don't know if you know the Dippin' Dots ice cream, the ice cream of the future. Okay, you go and you research that after.
Okay, I
Okay.
will do my research. Yeah.
Dippin' Dots ice cream of the future. So now you can find it in Canada too. It was incredible. The taste is really good. Okay, so people, when Americans, okay, when they come and they want to buy something, they will ask you, "Hi, how are you?" But it's just the polite way. Same, we have the same thing. But I thought that they are really asking me how I am. So I would start talking about, "Oh, I'm good. I'm having a great day." Da, da, da. And everyone would like look at me and like, okay, okay, like when I was like doing the ice cream and all that stuff, I was keep talking about me, until one day someone told me, "Hey, you know that someone that I was working with told me, you know that this how are you is just like, they don't really want to know what how you are. It's just a polite way of saying hi." I'm like, okay. I did not know that. So I stopped talking about myself when people will ask me, "How are you?" And like I learned a lot of things about the different cultures because we were students from
Yes.
all over the place. We didn't have internet connection at that time. We didn't have phones. I would call my mom with a card to tell them that I'm okay. So we didn't have a regular phone, a cell phone to just call my parents anytime. So again, I learned to be grateful for each and everything after having that experience. It was the first time when I was on a plane going from Romania in US, so crossing the ocean. And then when I was in my first year of master, I did that experience again. So I wanted to go back in US. So I went in exactly the same amusement park. I worked with completely different people, of course, because it was experiencing. And after I came back and I finished my university, I started to go for interviews. But I had that feeling that this is not where I should be. I want to do more for myself. I just want to explore more. I want to explore the world. I want to learn about different cultures. And so my husband at that time, my boyfriend, he said, "What about?" He didn't want to hear about US, so he said, "What about Canada? What do you think about Canada?" And I said, "I don't know anything about Canada. What can you tell me about Canada?" And he said, "You know what? We're gonna find out together." So we start looking. We start to gather information about how you can do the immigration process. We were very young, in our 20s, early 20s, and he said, "Okay, if we want to start this process, we have to get married." I'm like, "Oh my god! I just finished
And you were
university."
not ready at the time, no?
Yes. Do you really want to get married? Yes, because we need to have the same name. It's going to be much
Correct. Yeah.
complicated after that if I'm not changing the name after his name and we are not married and all that stuff. So let's get married. So we got married right away.
Oh my God.
And that was in February of 2009. We got married, and then we started the process, and we landed in Canada in 2011 October 13. So it
Wow.
was 2 years
Remember.
after we started our process. So it was a lot of time where we had to learn how to be patient. We had to learn we learned about ourselves a lot. I didn't try to find a very good job back in Romania because I knew that I want to go, I want to leave. So I started to work at Starbucks. So
It's a good
Starbucks,
skill, yeah.
it is a good way to actually gather skills for like customer service skills. So that was
Correct.
a place where I was able to learn how to become a good to have a good relationship with customers. So it was a great training. So I actually opened the first stores in my hometown. So I opened the first Starbucks store in Timișoara. I was part of the first team in Timișoara. So it was a great experience for me. I learned so much from that experience. They were not paying us a lot, so it was not, and I had to take out my university degrees to be able to be hired by them because
Really?
I had too much school, so they wouldn't hire me with so much school. With so much school, I had a master degree working in a Starbucks. So
Yes, so couldn't fit the application process, I believe. Huh? It's
exactly. So why I decided to stay there was because I knew that that experience will help me to find a job in Canada right away. So that happened. So
correct.
actually, I got a job right away when we landed on October 13, and on October 17, I was already working.
Oh my God.
So it took me 5 days to get, to have an interview and start working. So I started to work at Starbucks. It was an amazing experience. I was a shift supervisor. I become a trainer, so I trained barista, and I trained shift supervisors too. So in all my life, I wanted to be a teacher, to teach a
Ah,
university teacher, to work with adults, almost adults, kids that they are becoming adults. So when we landed here, my first thing that I did was to go to University of Toronto. Toronto was our first home, and to see if I'm able to have all my diplomas recognized. And they recognize everything. So I do have a certification saying that my master degree and my university degree was recognized by University of Toronto, so I can use it for employment. So I was able to use it for my employment. So working at Starbucks, I really loved and I really enjoyed. But having kids, so when I had Agnes, so it was 2 years after we came in Canada, we had Agnes, our first daughter. I realized I can't do shifts anymore. I can't do shifts anymore. And sorry, my power. Um, and it was at that moment I said, I want to have a 9 to 5 job. That's my dream. We always have different dreams in this life. So that was my dream, to have a 9 to 5 job. And I got a 9 to 5 job. I started to work in the construction industry, in the customer service department. Amazing experience, like completely different than retail. You work with totally other type of people, things that I would be able to fix with, oh, I'm giving you another coffee for free. I wouldn't be able to do in a
no, in the
place where
construction, no.
a lot of money to purchase a new home. So I wouldn't be able to give them a Starbucks card to make it out for something that we didn't do right. So it was a completely different experience. It was another level. So it was another level of customer experience that I learned. And after that, we decided when we had our second daughter, we decided to move from Toronto to Ottawa. So like you can see, I really travel. I
Yes.
really go from place to another one. So we decided to move to Ottawa, and it was a hard decision because we had very good jobs. Like, I was very well paid. My husband worked as a team leader in a factory. He started again. He worked in the factory on like a regular worker, but in a few months he was seen, that he has experience and he can do more than that, so he became a team leader, but he worked night shifts.
Right.
So we had times where we didn't see each other. We purchased our first home. You have a lot of that when you purchase your first home. You have to pay every single month, so you need to go to
Yeah.
work. Um,
Mortgage
that
and
that was the moment when we decided we have to stop this. We didn't move from Romania to Canada because we didn't have what we wanted back home. It was just an adventure. We just wanted the adventure of learning more about different cultures. And we never said we're never going to go back home. We went back home every 2 years. So we went back home, we stayed back home with our family, with our friends every 2 years. And that was because um, we put that on our almost vision board, like we
uh,
didn't know that it's called vision board at that time, but
so
we
you
put it on
did
our,
already.
yeah, like we had goals. We need every 2 years to go back home, so we were saving money to be able to go back home because it's expensive. It's not cheap to fly, and then when you have a bigger family, it's much more expensive. So when we decided to move here, what happened was we just quit our jobs back in Toronto. It was like a moment of an aha moment. We said, this is our time to move. We move, we go to Ottawa. Ottawa is a smaller city. We're going to have different advantages there to raise our kids. It's not as big as Toronto. So we moved here. My husband worked for another almost 5 months. He was doing Ottawa, Toronto. He was still working there, and no one knows all of this because it's um, everyone sees what you have right now, the success that you have right now, but they don't know the struggles that you
It's
went
correct.
through
Yeah.
until you were able to have the success. So we become mortgage free when we were 37 years old. And that was huge for us, being immigrants coming here with 3 luggages without knowing anyone, and having regular jobs. So a huge it was our mindset. It was something that, and it was risky. We risked so much, but we did it because um, we saw the
Yeah.
advantages of doing things that other people will not gonna be willing to do them because they are afraid. Okay,
Yes. Right.
so
Yeah.
we came here. We found jobs. We started to work in the health industry. Both of us at the hospital, government job. That's the dream of
Really?
anyone, to have a government job that's very well paid. You don't work so much. You work like 8 hours a day, 7 hours. Like you have a lot of breaks, lunch, da da da. You work for the government. That's amazing. How can you work for the government and you speak only English? I'm going to tell you a funny story. When I went to the interview, on the interview application, it was, for this position, you need to be bilingual. Okay. So I went to the interview, and Ottawa is a place where English and French are a must. Like you need to speak English and French. So I went to the interview, and they asked me a lot of questions in English. I was I had experience of whatever they were asking me to do, and and in the end they said, okay, so you speak perfectly French, right? And I said, no, I don't. I actually don't speak French. So I speak English. And they looked at me. There were three guys, two ladies and a guy. So there were three people. And they look at me, like all three of them, and like they were like, okay, but
How
you said
come?
that
Yeah.
you're bilingual. How come you don't speak French? And I'm like, I am bilingual. I speak Romanian. You didn't
So you are
specify.
bilingual. Yeah.
You didn't specify on your application that bilingual means English and French. So they hire me. They actually hire me. And you see,
Excellent.
that's a very good example of a way that you can. So if you actually are bilingual, you just say it without being annoyed that you don't speak French. And they said, okay, we understand, but you're gonna have to deal with patients that speak French. What's gonna be the case? And I said, yeah, I'm on the phone. I will be on the phone with patients that will speak French. So the way that I'm going to handle it, I will ask them if they speak English. I will apologize in the first place that I don't speak French. I will ask them if they speak English, I can help them. And if they don't, I will just going to put them on hold and I will ask someone else to help me out and they will take the call. So it's
Yeah,
not such a big deal. I don't see this as a disadvantage of working here.
that's
So,
true.
um, you know, my confidence at that moment was up to the roof just
Of
because I
course.
was able to get a job, a government job, without speaking French. And here it's very hard to get to that point because people are not actually applying for this position because they don't speak French. So they don't even give themselves the chance of having of having an interview. If you don't apply, you don't know if you will be able to get that job or someone will call you or not. So it's the same in this industry that we are right now. If you don't try, if you're not even curious to just register your name and go and watch that webinar, you will not gonna know if this business will be for you or not.
Yeah,
So
that is true. It's if you allow me just to interrupt you, because listening to you then remind me just one of my experience which is very related to you. A few years back, I was working for a corporate company and I was on the top management. But guess what? I was in charge of Greater China, which is I don't speak Chinese. I don't speak a word of Chinese, and I was in charge of China, the entire China, Taiwan, and Hong Kong. So Hong Kong speak English, but Taiwan and China speak Chinese. I don't speak a word of Chinese. So it was just a quick interruption, but
that's
because it's really like,
amazing.
yeah,
That's
because this is based
amazing.
on how is our mindset is built, and a no is not an answer. And as long as we have this drive, then we can break the wall every time. So back to you. It was just then a super flash for me in the similar way. So, oh my God,
So
this
yeah,
is
so I decided to look for an online business after we moved here, and I realized that I'm going back to the same rate race. So I was going to work, coming back home, going to work, coming back home. I'm lucky enough to have my mom here helping with our girls. But I told my husband I want to work online, and he said, "Good luck to you." That was his answer. Good luck to you. And then he told me, you are dreaming, you see, green horses on the walls. It's like something that Romanians are saying. So help you God, to get where you want to be. So I told him I found an opportunity, and he said, okay, let's look at it together and let's see what it is. And I showed him, and he said, I don't trust any of this. I'm not sure that this is something that, it's real. But if you want to do it, I support you 100%.
wow, that's good.
So I said, okay, if you support me 100%, I will do it. He was just, he was trying to be protective because he knew that if I'm going to put my heart into this business, I will put it completely. So I will not going to go halfway. So that's why that was one of the things that my father told him when we got married. He said, I actually, I'm laughing every time when I'm thinking about. He said, if you wants to see, Niagara, and Niagara is 20 hours away, you go with her or you don't. So it's your choice. But from my
This is
experience
nice.
and as her father, you just go with her. So
Wow.
it was something that Aline was like, okay, if she wants to do it, she will do it. She will get there 100%. She will not gonna know how she will get there, but she will do it. And it's just because the way that she is. And that's why Aline was my husband. He said, I trust you. If you think that this business will bring you happiness, will bring you joy, you will do what you love, i I support you 100%. So I started to show him results. So I started the business in 2019. I was still working full time at that time. In 2020, so 1 year after I started, I become online business and strategy coach. I was the first Romanian online business and strategy coach in our community. So thank you. I'm very proud of that. And then, last year in November, both of us, we decided to actually um, to retire from our 9 to 5 jobs.
Oh
So
my
we are
God,
not working
this is
anymore. Yes.
champagne. This is fantastic.
So it's we are done. So we also we were able to. It was before actually this business started to grow nicely for us. It was just from the mindset that we were able to create by being in this community. We actually invested in another property here in Ottawa. So, you know, it's very hard when you talk with someone and you share your experience. Um, the way that I just shared the experience with you guys, I wouldn't do this probably 3 years ago, because 3 years ago I would care about what other people will say about me. They will think that I'm bragging about all of this. But right now I'm doing it with my heart so open, because I know that I can actually inspire other people that you can be an immigrant in a country that you were not born, you don't speak the language fluently, and you can still be mortgage free, you can still have your own business, you can still become an investor, you can still um, you know uh, raise your kids the way that you want to raise them, because it was a reason for you not willing to stay in the country that you were in. And my reason was I didn't want my kids to go to like primary school was my problem in there, because it was very strict and it was a lot of competition, and I hated that competition. And I like when I see my girls that they want to go to school and they are happy when they go to school. So we all have our own reasons. I love Romania. I go back home with my heart open. I have my family back home. I have all my friends back home. I'm going there with all my heart open, but as a tourist. And being here in front of your followers, I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk so
No,
open
it's
about my journey. And it's actually the first time when I'm doing this in the online space. It's the first time when I actually talk about my journey, and I don't talk so
oh
much
my
about
God.
business, and what this business was able to do for me. But I think that now you understand from what I shared with you, that by having this business in my life for the past 3 years, by meeting so many people from our community, and talking about traveling this year, actually in May, I we drove from Ottawa to Vancouver. That's 5,000 kilometers one way, so 10,000
Oh,
kilometers both ways, to visit business partners from our business, just to visit them for, like, along the way. We stayed in 17 hotels, and we were able to see the people who are the leaders in our community. We were around 200 leaders of the community there. We launched one of our streams of income that is traveling related, and I was there, and my heart stopped for a second when I had the pleasure and the honor to meet all these people in real life. And we are all online business owners. We all work online with each other, but we've never met in person. We just trust each other for who we are. And it's incredible to see the growth. It's incredible to see our growth, our community growth, our
it's,
training growth,
it's amazing.
our yeah. So without having this business, probably the time that we had in quarantine, and all the time that we had to be away from people that we love, the 2 years that just passed, we I don't think that I would be the same person that I am right now, because it helped me so much by just keeping me plugged in with good information, with good books, with great training, with the right mindset to just move on and see the better future that we have in front of us. And you were asking me, where do I see myself in the future? I see
Yes.
myself growing in this community as much as I can. And if you decide, if anyone who's following your page decides to come and to watch our webinar, I'm actually hosting the webinar next week. I'm telling you exactly when I'm hosting.
Please give
Um,
me the date. I don't want to
ele-
miss it.
so I'm
11
gonna
October.
hosting on the 11 October. So it's Tuesday, October 11. I will host the webinar. I hosted the webinar a few times now, but if you want to see me live again, now you know who I am. You know my story. You can come live on the 11th. It will be at 8 p.m. Eastern time. And or if you cannot do it live, you can see a recording like 2 days, like the first 2 days until Thursday. It's going to be the recording there on the thank you page. And you can see me talking about, hosting the event. And we're going to have amazing people sharing their experience. And, if you decide to go ahead and move along with this business, you will find me in the community too. And
Definitely.
just say hi. I love when people are coming and they are just finding my name there, and they just comment on a post and they say, oh my god, I'm coming because I saw an interview with you on Pascal's page, and I was inspired by you. And that's what I love about this business. We inspire people to take action for themselves. And I'm not going to be able to be the one taking action for you guys, the one who are watching. You are the only one who can take action for yourself. So just put your name, put your email address on Pascal's website, and register and come and see me live again. And if I didn't bore you for 30 minutes, I'm sorry.
No,
Oh
it's
my God.
Joanna, honestly, it's real privilege. And when I said it's from really my heart, I started last week actually with another couple based in Greece, again from Bulgaria to Greece, because I want to bring diversity, because I'm part of that diversity of a group of people. I'm French, I'm living in Asia. So I said, okay, why not to share experience from our culture? Because it's also have an effect of how our mind is driven, how we wanted things badly, but in a positive way. I'm really thankful for the story. Your story is amazing. I'm privileged because, as you said, it's the first time you share a little bit
Yes.
deeper of your background. Want to remind for the people watching us right now or on the replay, Joanna going live the 11th of October, 8 p.m. PS time is going to
Yes,
be
Eastern time.
Hong Kong and Singapore time. Again,
Yes.
don't worry, I will remind you guys. And just to wrap it up quickly, as give a little bit more detail. Why we're doing what we're doing right now is an online business. The advantage is no stock inventory, no begging family and friends. You have a video recorded training step by step. You can schedule at on your own time. Whatever you are, in your bathroom, in your bed, in your living room, driving, whatever. It's fantastic. What is the beauty? And I would say the cherry on the cake, we have a fantastic automated system, but we have a support of more than 130,000 people in the community globally. So wherever you are in the world, you will find your business partner, your best buddy who help you. Then you have a mentor, and then you will have your personal coach. As Joanna, she's a coach, she's a leader, and with her, she has a big team. So guys, stay in tune. Joanna, thousand thank you. I know it's a bit late for you, but you are a night owl, if I understood.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
I'm an early
And
bird. So
yes, and I really enjoyed being here with you, and I
thank
want
you
to
so
thank you
much.
again for having me here. And yes, just guys, come and see me live again. Come and see our community. You have nothing to lose. And like I said, if you are not taking action for yourself, no one will do it for you. And when an opportunity knocks on your door, just open that door. You never know what can be on the other side. Just open that door.
Thank you so much. We should have a great evening. We keep in touch for sure. I follow you, you know that. And
Yeah.
I'm watching you as well and learning from you. Thanks so much. Talk to you very soon. Have a great evening. Bye,
Have a
everybody.
great night.
Don't forget,
Bye.
the replay will be there. Ciao, ciao. Bye. Bye bye. Just one.